Good afternoon, Anne Arundel County. Good afternoon, America. Welcome to Promoting Community Conversation and Discovery. I'm your host, Anthony Bynum. The name of our production company is the Glen Burnie Players. These are exciting times here in Anne Arundel County. We're getting some beautiful weather. It has been on the cool side, so it is time to start wearing your jackets. We've got a great show for you today. Let's start out with upcoming events. So these are both dealing with the theater. October 16th and 19th at the Classic Theater in Maryland, or that's Annapolis actually, Classic Theater of Maryland in Annapolis. It's the play, The Importance of Being Earnest. So this was written by Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde lived over 100 years ago, English guy, you know. But he made quite a name for himself. Unfortunately, after he passed away, he has quite a following, and this is apparently one of his better plays. Also, uh, running for a little longer, I think it starts the 16th, but it runs for about 2 weeks, I believe. Shrek the Musical. This is playing at the Children's Theater of Annapolis. So these are both pay-for events, but that information is pretty relatively available. So if you get the opportunity, please check it out. It's something to do on these weekends, right? Our affiliates, these are the people who air our shows for us, who air community conversation and discovery. Start right off with AAC TV. That's right here in Glen Burnie. Thank you for airing our shows. Greenbelt Cable Access in PG County. Thank you for airing our shows. I talked to Sheila, the program manager, just the other day. Amherst Media in Amherst, Massachusetts. Thank you for airing our shows. Manhattan Neighborhood Network and the Big Apple. Thank you for airing our shows. In Brunswick TV3 in Maine. Thank you for airing our shows. Also, references. So we can't do the show without these references. Wikipedia, Google Images. Thank you both so much. And our sponsor, Underwriter, our sponsor, Underwriter, that is the Cleaning Chef. More information is available about them in the credits. Now, most admired. Again, I could have done this so long ago. This, in my opinion, is the greatest chameleon in the history of entertainment. Let's go and take a look at the life of none other than the great David Bowie. There he is right there. So Mr. Bowie was born 1/8/1947. He died 1/10/2016. His actual birth name was David Robert Jones. He was born in Brixton, London. Apparently, the family moved a lot when he was very young. As I noted, he was the master chameleon. So somewhere along the line, his dad brought home some Elvis records and some Little Richard records, and the guy was sold, you know. So he studied art and music and design. He was a very classy guy, you know. His music career started in 1963. And, you know, in music, either you got it or you just do it enough so you get better, right? So who knows if he was a phenomenon? We don't know. We know is this, though. He was dedicated to it. Music career starts in 1963. His first album is 1967. So 4 years, he releases his first album, self-titled album, so it's probably called David Bowie. Somewhere a little earlier, probably when he started that music career, or somewhere in the middle, he knew there was a problem because there was a guy in the States, an English guy in the States, who also was named David or Davy Jones. So that's probably what prompted the name, obviously what prompted the change to Bowie. 1969, either a single or an album, I'm not sure which, Space Oddity is released. A great song. It tells the story of Major Tom stuck in space. And there was a lot of sci-fi stuff happening in those days. Star Trek was on, the Space Oddity movie was on. You had Lost in Space, so there was a lot. I can't remember some of them. Um, Twilight Zone, but I'm thinking of another show. I can't remember right now. But anyway, he's probably inspired by those types of things. He embraced the whole alien image the whole way. 1972 is time for a change. He invents this thing called glam rock. Now, there are probably some of his buddies who are around. Maybe Iggy Pop was in that scene. I don't know about Lou Reed. Um, but he has an alter ego, his first great alter ego. Well, I guess second. Major Tom must be the first. Ziggy Stardust. And they do an album. And he's got a band, and it's a hard rocking band called the Spiders. And he's doing these sold out shows in London, sold out shows every weekend. Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. And that was a great album. Like I said, David Bowie rocked as hard as anybody. He rocked as hard as the Who, Led Zeppelin, the Stones, you named it. He was a hard rocking guy. He didn't look like a rocker. He was different, if you know what I mean. More, more feminine. But he was a hard rocking dude. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. A few years pass, and it's time to reinvent again. He comes up with this thing called Plastic Soul. I don't know if the name ever really stuck, but he wants to do more rhythmic music. And somewhere in there, they released the Young Americans album. And Young Americans had two great songs on it. One of them was called Fame, which is still played today. The story of Fame, as I recall, is he's, in the somewhere with John Lennon and Carlos Alomar, and they're just kind of picking up instruments and doing a little this, a little that. And somebody, and it might have been John Lennon, has the idea of playing some Stevie Wonder stuff backwards. And Carlos Alomar comes up with this wild lick, wild rhythmic lick. And before you know it, fame, 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 what's your name, what's your name, what's your name? Great song. But also on that album, he introduces us to a young Luther Vandross in Young Americans. What a great song. And I think Golden Years, which was another great, great song, was on that album. And they're great songs when you still hear them on the radio from time to time. That's how you know they're great songs. Uh, a few years later, 76, 77, he's working with Brian Eno, and they're releasing a trilogy of great albums. One of those albums, and I think he spent a lot of time in the central part of Europe. One of those albums is called Heroes. And the self-titled song Heroes is a love song. And he does the video against the great Berlin Wall. And it just inspires folks. Nothing will keep us apart. We will be heroes someday. It's a great song. Also in those trilogy of albums was an album called Larger. This is one of my favorite David Bowie albums. It's one of my favorite because he's sampling world music. He has a song called African Night Flight, where he's an Englishman and he can't get out of Africa. And you have all these exotic sounds, cricket menace, all these exotic sounds, and it's just great stuff. Yasa Sen, uh, the original story about the outsiders who could never be made part of the community. There's so many great songs on that album. 1980 comes around. I'm coming towards my sophomore, junior year of high school, and it's time for David Bowie to reinvent himself again. This time it's Scary Monsters and Super Creeps. He lets us communicate again with Major Tom because what? He's lost in space. He can't come home. Uh, he's not afraid to do, again, he goes back and forth hard rock. On that album, he has some rhythmic stuff too. He had a song called Fashion. That was a very rhythmic type of song. As a matter of fact, I think I saw a video. The guitar player for Hall & Oates, a guy named G.E. Smith, met David Bowie kind of sort of at a party. And David Bowie liked the way he looked. He probably didn't even know if he was a musician or not. He said, hey, man, I'm doing a video tomorrow. Be there such and such. I'll pay you. He's in that album. He's in that video with the fashion, fashion, look to the left, fashion, right, fashion. Ooh, that song, right? The whole album was good. Peter Townsend played guitar on a song on that. I think it was Because You're Young. Great song. A great album because all the songs are great. There's no such thing as a filler on a great album. A couple years later, it's the Let's Dance album. He works with Nile Rodgers of Chic fame, and they come up with some great rhythmic stuff. But the song on that album that speaks to me the most is a song called Modern Love. And it speaks to me because the song was released in 1983, but it could have been released in 1957. It had that kind of feel to it, It had that kind of feel to it. In fact, they say David Bowie sold close to 100 million albums, 100 million albums worldwide. And he grew up with Peter Frampton. So what can you say about this guy? And he married Imam, the original Imam. the model from Somalia, who was in a Star Trek movie, by the way. All these things, all these things, all these things. So most admired this week, David Bowie. Okay, so we're going to talk about something of consequence regarding Anne Arundel County. And I think you're going to enjoy this. Let me just go ahead and switch this forward. The other day, I was at a business trade show, And we were at the Elks Lodge in Serverna Park. It's Elks Lodge 2482. Very nice building in a nice location. And I had a great time seeing the different businesses and networking a little bit and talking a little shop with these people and these people over there. Very clean. Got a nice beer for, I think it was $2 or maybe $5. I don't know. But these types of organizations, they're important. I'm writing an article right now about them being the fabric of what makes us tick in this country. So here's some of the things that these guys do. You can see from the website, they keep busy. I'm gonna scroll down just a little bit, just a little bit. Friday night, they got their Oktoberfest Friday dinner. They're keeping busy. So it's Oktoberfest, which means German cuisine, which means sausage and more sausage and more sausage and more beer and maybe some potatoes. Sounds like a good time to me. But they offer much more. Uh, Veteran services, obviously, youth basketball, college financial aid. These Elks, they're important. These it's a fraternal order, fraternal type of group. But everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome. So we're gonna stop the share. I guess I just have to go to this button down here. Okay, and then push this button right here. Perfect. Now, bringing this together, again, I always admired David Bowie, always admired him. So we're gonna look at some lyrics for one of his songs. And I about a year ago, I don't know if this this video was done, you know, 30 years ago or somebody redid it, but it looks like it was David Bowie. So it's called Golden Years. And of course, it's a very mellow type of song. It moves. He's a very rhythmic kind of guy. And he says, "Don't let me hear you say lies, taking you know who where, angel. Come up, get up, baby. Look at the sky, life's begun. Nights are warm and days are young. Come up, baby. There's my baby, lost, that's all. Once I'm begging you, save her little soul. Get up, my baby. Last night they loved you, opening doors and pulling some strings, angel. Come get up, my baby. In walked luck, and you looked in time. Never look back, walk tall, act fine. Come up, my baby. I'll stick with you, baby, for 1,000 years. Nothing's going to touch you in these golden years. Golden years. Some of these days, and it won't be long, gonna drive back down where you once belonged in the back of a dream car, 20 foot long. Don't cry, my sweet, don't break my heart. Doing all right, but you gotta get smart. Wish upon, wish upon, wish upon, wish upon, believe. Oh no, I believe all the way. Run for the shadows, run for the shadows, run for the shadows in these golden years. Then the last line says, don't let them hear you say life's taking you nowhere, angel. Come get up, my baby. I'll stick with you, baby, for 1,000 years. Nothing's going to touch you in these golden years. And then the whole golden years, boo bop, boo bop, boo bop. So when you listen to great lyrics, you don't understand the song completely. The artist just tries to give you something to kind of go with. You have to fill in the blanks with your mind. But by filling in the blanks with your mind, it makes you happy. And that's their goal, to make you happy. So thank you for bearing with me as I took a walk back down nostalgia street, so to speak. So again, beautiful times here in Anne Arundel County. My name is Anthony Bynum. Until next time, for the Glen Burnie players, until next time, bye bye.